Hey everybody, come on up, sit down on the porch. It's Porch Settin Sunday. Okay, so first I'll show you my outfit of the day. You know I'm a Glitzy Granny, and so I got my glitzy on and my glitzy little headband. Got my hair all done. Well, it's up anyway. And here's my outfit of the day. Let me set you over here and see if you can see it. This is my outfit of the day, and I got a skirt on. I don't know if you can see the skirt. Got me a skirt on with some glitzy flip-flops. No, I guess you can see that. Let me see. With glitzy flip-flops. Okay, so let's get started. Bring you back over here with me. You got your coffee, you got your whatever you want to drink, some iced tea, some lemonade, whatever you drink on Sunday or any day. I drink iced water, iced tea, and sometimes, well, and I have my coffee. That rhymed, iced water, iced tea, and I got my coffee. So here comes my coffee. So I got my cup of coffee right here. My honey just brought it out to me. He's good about carrying stuff to me and waiting on me and that sort of thing. So anyway, I think I left off last week talking about my son skipping first grade. Skipped school in first grade. So from then on, first grade to the rest of the time, it was a fight to get that child to go to school. He hated school. He'd rather be in the woods hunting or just in the woods. He'd rather be in the woods doing anything besides going to school, because that is how he started out. His dad really pushed hunting, and I didn't like that too much, but it is what it is. Dad was Dad's only son, and he wanted to, it was our first child, our firstborn, and he wanted to teach him to hunt and everything. I wanted him to be more interested in school. That didn't happen. So it was a fight the whole time to get him to go to school. Now, he was good in school once you got him there, but once he got up into the other grades, once after that day that he skipped school, the wrath was so harsh, so to speak, that he did not skip school again, that we knew of, that we caught him, let's put it that way. So moving along, I don't really remember. My memory is really not good unless something happens to, it has to be something major that happens for me to have a memory. I'm going to move on up to where, when he was 12, we had rented a house in this little community. It was a very, very, very small community, and neighbors were close. And here they're not close. What I mean is there's not a lot. You're in a very rural area. The houses are not real close together. We have a neighbor, but it's on the other side of the holler. If you're familiar with West Virginia, you know that you live up a holler. So, anyway, we lived next door to a man and woman that they didn't have teenage daughters. Their daughters they had a daughter-in-law that lived with them that was in her early 20s, and then a daughter that was in her very early 20s, and they used to get out in the backyard, and we could see from our side yard, we could see their backyard. And I guess they didn't think a 12-year-old boy would be interested in them, considering he was 12 and they were in their 20s, you know. But my son always did like older women. I'm telling you, the child always did like older women. And so he had been out in the yard playing, and he had a play snake. Now, mind you, here in West Virginia, we have copperheads, rattlesnakes, and they're poisonous. So most women here are terrified of snakes. Most women. Me being one of those women. I heard a knock on the front door. They were out playing, and I always watched, you know, always looked out on them to make sure they were okay, and, you know, all of my children I did. And he had a pet, or not a pet snake, a play snake. It was a plastic snake that looked real. Well, needless to say, he threw that snake over the fence. Well, these girls, when they laid out with their tops untied. The back was untied, and they would lay on their stomach. So when he threw that snake and hollered, "Snake!" they jumped up. Well, when they jumped up, they didn't think to grab their tops. So my boy got him a free shot. I was not a happy mama when they come knocking on the front door, and I was, what can you say? I'll take care of it. I'll talk to him. But my thought on that was, I didn't let my son know this. As far as he was concerned, his mama was very, very upset. But my thought on this, and you all leave your comments below, good or bad, give me your thoughts on it, what you think. Given the fact that their backyard was not private, that they were not laying out there private, because there was no privacy fence, no shrubs, no hedges, no trees, nothing to keep anyone from looking from their yard. I could look out my window and see them. Given the fact that they had no privacy, as far as they didn't provide, they didn't even, I would have hung a blanket over the fence. There was a fence, and I would have, if I was going to do that, I would have hung a blanket over the fence to where no one could see me that was in the side yard. Now, no one could see them from the front, but from our yard, from our whole side yard, yes, you could see. But if they would have hung a blanket, whoever seen them would have seen them from the side, or had to walk right up to the fence and peer over the fence. So, but anyway, given the fact that they did not provide any privacy, they didn't hang a blanket over the fence to provide their self-privacy, what did they think that a 12-year-old boy was going to do that is just getting ready to go through puberty? Like I said, I wasn't happy, and I thought for sure when his dad come home, his dad would just tear him up. His dad did. His dad said, "Son, next time you do that, you make sure I'm home first." The mama wasn't happy again, but it is what it is. Water under the bridge. But I did tell him, and his dad said, "No, seriously, son, you can't be doing things like that. You could have caused those girls to get hurt," or, you know, but he did make a joke out of it in the beginning. By then it was too late to be serious. But what are your thoughts on, did I do the right thing and not making a big deal out of it? but talking to him and letting him know that that was not right, but also letting the girls know they were grown women. They were not children. They weren't teenagers. They were grown women. One was married. One was not married yet, but was out of school. She was in her early 20s. I let them know that they should have been providing their self-privacy, and he wouldn't have been able to know they were laying like that. Because that's just asking for trouble, especially when you have teenage boys around. And you know, that's what they have on their mind. So I did punish my son for that. But in the same sense, I think that the young women needed to take responsibility too. I was younger than them. I was only, I think I was 24 at the time. They were in their early middle 20s. I think they were a couple years older than me, but I knew better. I knew that they should have provided themselves with some privacy, but you know, anyway, let's get on with, I'm trying to remember any other stories. That I do know that my son, he loved his older sister. Him and his sister were very, very close. Every picture I have, they were hugging each other. He was hugging her, he was kissing her. Just before I would snap the picture, he would reach over and kiss her. Girls, it's very hot out here, and here I am with hot coffee. I hope you have your coffee, but I love coffee. I can't help myself. I've drank it since I was 4 years old, as far back as I can remember, and I was 4, I think. Dad said 4, I was asking for coffee, so I wanted to do everything my daddy did. And if my daddy drank coffee, then I was drinking coffee. I got up every morning with him at 4 a.m. before he went to work and had coffee. You never believe what my dad's summer, and I'm getting off the topic, but hey, it's stories about me, my life, my family. My dad, I loved my dad. He was my stepdad, but he was the only dad that I knew, and he was the only dad that I had. And he was there when I was born, and he stepped right in, and he never introduced me as, this is my stepdaughter. He always said, this is my daughter, Susie Q, and he called me Susie Q when I was very young. But anyway, his summer breakfast was Mom canned tomatoes, and he loved canned tomatoes. He would put the jar of tomatoes, whole tomatoes that Mom canned, in the refrigerator the night before, and the next morning he would get up and he would eat canned tomatoes, whole tomatoes, with sugar on top. So I had that for breakfast every morning with a cup of coffee with my dad, and he would not allow me to have cream and sugar in my coffee. He thought that if he didn't allow me to have cream and sugar, that would deter me from wanting coffee. Nah, it didn't, because if I had to drink it without cream and sugar, as long as I was drinking it with my daddy, I didn't care. I was going to drink coffee. So he said, young lady, you're going to drink it like a woman. So I drank it black and strong. So that, when I was a little girl, I never have a memory of my mother setting up with me when I was sick. I always remember Dad always taking care of me when I was sick. If he had to go to work, he would take me to Grandma's house, and Grandma would take care of me until he came home. My mother was not ever a good mom to me. So that was one of the reasons why I always said that when I grow up and I have children, I want to be a good mom to my children. I want to keep all my children together. I want to have all my children be by the same man. And I'm not saying that let me clarify this. Anybody that has children by different dads, that's fine. But for me, I wanted my children to all have the same father. And the reason I feel that way is because my mom did not. And she didn't want to tell us who our dads were. My mother took the name of my dad to the grave with her. So I'm never going to have that opportunity to even find my dad, look for my dad, or, my real blood dad. I had a wonderful, wonderful dad. Couldn't have asked for a better dad. So, that was my thinking, that I wanted to make sure that I stayed married to the same man, that I had the same dad for my kids, and that they knew who their dad was and knew their family. I started family reunions on my husband's sides just so my children would know their family. So that being said, I'll tell you a little bit more about my life next week. I know we got off the topic of my son, but sometimes things are too painful to talk about, and right now my memory doesn't serve me on my son. I haven't tried to block him out. I'll never block him out. His memory will always be right here. There's many, many things good about my son, and many things that I'm not so proud about. But I just want to tell you all a little bit about me so you can get to know me. I love you guys. Hope you'll come back next week. I want to get back into makeup too. Back into doing, I'll do my Porch Settin Sunday always, and tell stories about me and my life and my marriage, when I was first married and right up till now. And hope y'all tell me a little bit about yourself in the comments below. Stick your thumb out. Come along on this new journey that I'm going on. Share me around, because I want to travel. Someday I am going to travel. But right now I have to travel with you all. So share me around. Tell me where you're from. I've already learned where a lot of you are from. But yeah, leave it in the comments below where you're from. And if you want to travel and where your dream vacation might be. I have stories about mine, where my dream vacation may be, and I'm California dreaming. So I'll talk to you all later. I'll see you in the next one. See you next Sunday. Grab your cup of coffee, grab your glass of tea, or whatever. Just like the beauty diva Natalie. Grab your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, and if you're across the pond, a glass of wine. So, hi Natalie, and come along with me. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.